The Ashwalker Incident. There are things that happen in this world that don't leave room for explanation. Not for comfort, not for sleep, not for the quiet belief that reality has rules. Tonight is about a man named Arthur Penhaligon. What was found in his kitchen. What was found in a forest 1 mile away. And what has never, in 50 years, been explained by anyone. I'm your shadow narrator. Dim the lights. Don't get comfortable. Because once you hear the detail about the footprints, you won't be able to unhear it. Arthur Penhaligon was 42 years old, accounts clerk, Cornwall, England. He had a cat named Gordon. He took his coffee with 1 sugar. By every measure, the most unremarkable man on his street. On the morning of October 15th, when he didn't show up to work, something he had never once done in 11 years. Police entered through the unlocked front door. The coffee was still warm. The back door was locked from the inside. The windows were latched. Gordon the cat was gone. And centered on the kitchen table, with what one officer later described as surgical precision, a perfect ring of white powder. They tested it immediately. Not cocaine, not chalk, not salt. Pulverized human bone. The powder didn't stay in the kitchen. Investigators swept the property, and in the back garden, across the fence, across the neighboring field, they found more of it. A trail. One unbroken line of the same bone ash, cutting across half a mile of open farmland, straight as a compass bearing directly into Blackwood Forest. Now, stop here with me, because this is the detail. Inside that trail of ash, not beside it, not crossing it, inside it were bare footprints, Arthur's footprints, confirmed by size and gait analysis, pressed into the earth beneath the powder, as if he had walked there first and something had filled his path behind him, or as if the ash had fallen around him as he moved, like he was shedding it. One detective, Reginald Coates, gave a single statement to a local paper before refusing all further comment. He said, "The man did not walk to the forest. The forest sent something to collect him, and what we followed was the evidence of that transit." Reginald Coates retired 3 weeks later. He never spoke about it again. The trail ended at a single oak tree. Estimated age, 340 years. Arthur's arms were inside it, 4 feet off the ground, vertical, embedded so completely that only the forearms and hands were visible. Emerging from the bark like something half delivered, half swallowed. The wood around them was uncut, undrilled, unbroken. A forensic botanist, brought in because no one knew what category this fell into, concluded that the human tissue had not been inserted into the tree. It had been integrated. The boundary between Arthur's bone and the oak's wood had dissolved. They had become, in the words of the report, a continuous material, not fused by force or heat or chemical, simply continuous. The rest of Arthur Penhaligon was never recovered. Not a tooth, not a fragment, just the arms. Palms open, fingers slightly spread, waiting, some said. Holding up the tree, said others. 50 years, no arrest, no explanation, no Arthur. Skeptics say hoax, a disposal method too sophisticated for 1974 forensics. But here is what they cannot explain. The ring of ash on that table was made from his bone. He was alive when that ring was made. There is no version of any known story in which a living man becomes dust before he disappears. Local belief around Blackwood has a name for what happened. They call it being taken for structure. The idea, older than the village, is that ancient things require human material to sustain themselves. Not blood. Something more fundamental. Bone. Framework. Architecture. Arthur, they say, was chosen because he was stable, reliable, load-bearing, the way a quiet, ordinary life can be load-bearing. The forest needed his structure, so it came to his kitchen, left its calling card, and walked him home. What do you believe? Was Arthur a victim of something we have no language for? Or is he still there, in that oak, holding something ancient upright in the dark? Drop your theory in the comments. I'll pin the one that keeps me awake. The lantern stays lit. Subscribe, because next week we go somewhere worse. Good night.